Gabrielle Bernstein, our guest. She is the author of 2 books. Her second one called Spirit Junkie. The first one was about embracing your ing.
Add more ing to your life, yes.
What's it called? Add more ing
ing
to your life, which means inner guide, which means you have to learn how to meditate or just be still. What if you're not so good at meditating? Can't you just be still and not talk?
Yeah, that book offers a lot of tools. Yes, yes, absolutely. In that book, I offer a lot of tools. One of the big things about the ing book is really offering readers this opportunity to move their negativity through them. So there's physical activities and meditation. Right. So I actually prescribe the physical stuff before the meditation.
How did you learn to trust your inner guide? There's a story in the book about your hernia. Dare I tell the world you had a hernia?
I had a hernia surgery, yes.
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 But how did you use your inner guide to help you through that surgery?
Yeah, this is a beautiful thing that happens. So exactly. What happens for us when we awaken our inner guidance system? When we start to, one thought at a time, it's a mind reconditioning. And from A Course in Miracles perspective, it's an unlearning. It's unlearning the fear-based behavior and reconditioning that loving mindset. And so when we do that, we start to see and hear that synchronistic guidance much more clearly than we would have otherwise. You really just release the blocks to that presence of your intuition. And so I was at this place in my life in 2009, right before my first book came out. I needed a hernia surgery. I had been living with a hernia for many years, and it felt very leaky to me, metaphorically. I felt like, let me get this cleaned up. And so I had scheduled the surgery for December of 2009, and this was a month before the ing book came out. And it was scheduled, it was a week away. I woke up in the morning, and I heard my ing, my inner guide, that loud, authoritative voice, say, do not have the surgery right now. It's too soon. Your book is coming out. Not now. Push it back. It was very, very clear.
Made your doctor happy, I'm sure.
Yes, exactly. So I call my mother. I put a phone call into my mother. My mother and I, our ing vibrates at the same frequency often. And I said, listen, just wanted to give you a heads up. I've got the intuition that I should not have the surgery right now. And she says, I know. I'm like, what do you mean I know? She said, 3 days ago, I heard a voice that said Gabrielle will not be having her surgery right now. And so I just took that as a really nice universal memo that this was not the time to do this. And man, was it not, because my book shipped early. I was called to do tons of media. I would never have had the opportunity to do all of the holiday media that I needed to do to support that early shipment had I been lying on my back recovering.
Right.
So your ing will do for you what you cannot do for yourself, and you have to really awaken that intuition.
So if you want to, and you did have the surgery eventually.
I had the surgery, yes, but several months later when I was in a place to do it.
And it was the kind of surgery you could wait to have.
Absolutely.
Is the point.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, I'm not suggesting that people say no, but just trusting your intuition, trusting divine timing.
Some surgery is emergency
That's
surgery.
Right, that's right.
Yes, but you still love high heels and pink drinks, and I think, well, maybe not pink drinks anymore, but soy milk lattes and tight jeans that make your butt look swell and all of that. So you're not suggesting that we all sit on a pile of dust and
Not at all, no. No. I think a major part of being a spirit junkie is living an authentic life and really tapping into what is true to you in whatever form. Most importantly, if you're tapping into your inner truth, then the outside stuff can just be a reflection of your awesome inner state. And so I allow whatever it is that I enjoy to be participate in the practice of being this spiritual woman.
When you help other women, especially younger women, let go of littleness, trust their inner guides, what's the resistance?
Well, these days, a lot of the people that come to my work have hit enough of a bottom in their life, whether it be a big bottom or a high bottom or a low bottom. They've cracked open enough where they're ready, willing, and able to make those changes. So a lot of the people that I come across, I have beautiful experiences of seeing them make miraculous shifts very quickly because they have that willingness. Now, the main thing here is about maintenance. If you can crack open, you can start bringing this work into your life, really living a spirit junkie mentality. But it's hard to, it's a really lifelong practice. And many people come up against this experience of the ego saying, you did that, you read that book, you're done, you're cured, right? Meanwhile, I want to be very clear, I practice these principles every moment of my life.
So when you receive guidance, you accept it or you challenge? How does it work?
Well, I think that the divine intuition comes to us in different forms, and part of what I'm doing here with this book is helping readers create a spiritual relationship of their own understanding. And so for me, I receive guidance as strong intuition. I often talk about how spirit works through people. This week on my book tour, I have had the divine spirit of the recently, a few years past, Richard Carlson. He wrote the book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Yes.
And I have been receiving guidance from Richard all week long through his mentee, through his wife, through his books. I showed up yesterday knowing I was ready to read Richard's books because I've been receiving all this guidance. And my friend Suki, who I'm staying here with, says, I just pulled that book out of the box yesterday and was thinking about whether or not I should put it on the coffee table for me, right? You know, for my guest who's coming. So the guidance is coming in different forms. Sometimes the book literally falls off the shelf.
Sure, but it's easy to say, as you know, don't sweat the small stuff, or dump guilt, get sober, listen to the whisper inside. So easy to say. More difficult, in a sense, to do. You know, especially when we're bombarded by all the outside factors and everyday life and thin, beautiful, and busty and all of that.
People often say to me, you know, isn't this a hard commitment? It's so much work. And my response to them is, it's a lot of work to be miserable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But when you are an addict and the voice inside says over and over again, get sober, get clean. We look at Amy Winehouse.
Yep. I tried many ways myself. I was using for many years, and I was only going to allow that divine guidance to come in and the real recovery to occur when I was willing to change. And so the true recovery, whether it be from drug addiction or love addiction or just fear-based addiction, true recovery requires surrender, a full-blown surrender, and a real deep desire to see things differently.
Yes, and if love is letting go of fear, how do you define fear?
So fear is really the limiting belief system that we pick up at some point in our time, and we create, it almost becomes like a virus in our mind.
We're not good enough.
I'm not good enough. Yeah.
It's somebody else's fault.
Yep, blaming others. Fear is based on separation. Fear is based on judgment. Fear is based on comparing.
I'm nothing without a man.
Yep. Feelings of inadequacy and feelings of not being whole. And so those fear-based belief systems just begin to pollute our loving mindset and take over.
Are there days when you feel that you're not whole? I know we're supposed to love ourselves first. I know that.
Yeah, not anymore. I have days where I may feel down, or I may feel frustrated, or I may feel resentful. But even in the midst of those discomforting situations, I can turn to my inner guidance system. And so the beautiful thing about being happy, right? The truth about being happy is that it's not all about just being happy all the time. True happiness is experiencing all of your emotions as a rainbow of emotions and being able to be present in whatever emotion is coming through for you and accept it.
Right, because some people fake happy.
Oh yeah, and you can sniff that away. Yeah,
you can. Let's hope. Tell me about the website, the gathering of like-minded women, men too. Mostly women.
Well, I've got two websites. My primary site that I treat as a social network is called herfuture.com, and this is a site for women to find mentors, be mentors, to support each other's endeavors, to talk about spirituality, to talk about wellness, to talk about entrepreneurship, and to empower one another. I started this website in 2008 when I was receiving a lot of emails from young women that really wanted me to mentor them. And I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning getting carpal tunnel, writing back to everybody. And I had to do something. My ing said, get on the internet. And so I listened to my inner guide and I set up the social network. We have 11,500 members right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So love bleeds through the computer, so to speak.
Bleeds through the computer, yes.
Spirit Junkie book launch tonight at the H.R. MacMillan Space Center in Vancouver. Sold out.
Yes. I have these amazing, amazing spirit junkies here, the Conscious Divas, and they're a beautiful, beautiful group of women that put together these events, and they're sold out. They did an amazing job.
Well, they're knee-deep and happy, so to speak.
They're happy.
Let's hope. But real life does come by. There's no question.
Yeah.
It rains. You get a diagnosis that's terrifying.
I'm living with many experiences today that are not the most divine experiences. My mother's going through treatment. I've got, life issues, life on life's terms. But the way that I choose to perceive these experiences is from a loving perspective. So practicing the spirit junkie mentality doesn't necessarily mean that the outside world will change, but what it means is that your experience of your experiences changes.
And you see a lot of yearning in young women.
So much yearning, yeah.
And in older women, and in older men, and young
every
men.
person,
And
yes.
every human.
Yes, people are longing for a better perspective. They're longing for more life flow. They're longing for connectedness and communication. And now more than ever, it is time to make these messages mainstream, more mainstream. It's time for these messages to be very accessible.
Do you think social media helps or hinders that?
Helps, yes. It depends on how you use social media, but a big part of what I do is I've led people on 30 days of positive posting on the internet, rallying thousands of people to post positive messages. I only put out loving content through the web, so I really only receive that back. Of course, there's people that come up with funky things, and we just block them. And so, it's this massive opportunity that we all have. We have such power today to share loving perspective, share loving energy, or we have the power to share negativity, and it's our choice.
Well, my Ing says it's time to let you go.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Gabrielle Bernstein, forward to the book, Marianne Williamson. It's called Spirit Junkie.